Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. I want to start talking about a very important topic, one that I have struggled with most of my life. Initially, I decided to make a program out of this and sell it online and be a health coach and be fitness coach and all of that. And the more I think about it, the more I just want people to be saved from the issue of food and diet and related all those issues, because that's what I struggled with, and it took me a long time to get to this point of knowing it, of having the Lord teach me and guide me through it, and it wasn't easy for me at all. And so I wanted to make a program and sell it that way. But the more I think about it, my desire to see people released from this kind of food related issues keeping us in some kind of bondage and having a kind of control over us. I just want people to be healed. That is more important for me than making money from it. So that is what I'm doing right now, and I'm sorry it took me this long to get to this point. And I'm going to tell you everything. I spoke about this in some prior videos. I'll leave the link below, but I didn't give too much information of how to do it exactly, because I was thinking I'm going to make a program, I'm going to make a course and put it online and all of that. And that hasn't really worked. And the more I see that, Christ gave us salvation for free. He gives us such wonderful gifts for free. So He gave this to me, what I'm going to teach you. Even though it took me a long time to get to it, I didn't have to pay Him to get it. So in that way, I'm also giving this for free. Whether you hear it or not, this is very valuable information, and I've not heard people talk about this, and if they have talked about this, it's in reference to buying some kind of course or something like that. So this is the total free version that I am giving just because you believe in Christ, and it's a gift that I'm giving to you because Christ wants you to be free, just as He wanted me to be free from food and control and all of that. And all my life I've prayed that I would be free. I fasted. I did so many things. If you see the other videos, I talk a lot about it, like all the stuff that I went through to get this information. But I'm going to tell you in as short of time as I can, everything from start to finish, how it works, and how you can do it too. If you like it, comment down below, and then I will leave more information about specific topics. Okay, so the first thing you have to learn is how to take those temptations and cravings away from you. Remember that our body is linked to our emotional state, our mental state, and I just want to make one thing clear off the bat, that we shouldn't think of our body as, this mortal toil. We shouldn't think of it as the grudge that I have to keep and carry in all my life, and I just want Jesus to come, so then this shell of a flesh will be gone and it won't be bringing me down anymore with its wants and desires and its temptations, and woe me, it's so hard to be in the flesh, I just want to be in the spirit. Don't think of it like that, because God, He made us this way. He gave us flesh. And think of your flesh as your vehicle. This is what you have all your life. And God desires for you to be fit and strong and full of energy and functioning properly, and the things of the body functioning properly so that your mood can keep up with it, so you can have a good mood, so you can have a happy demeanor about you. Because when stuff isn't going right with your body, you're grumpy and it's hard to do stuff. It's hard to, get up in the morning. It's hard to you don't have that life and that youth that you should be having. So this, what I'm proposing, I'm going to tell you so very valuable information for free. I don't want you to take it lightly. Just because it is for free, what I'm telling you doesn't mean it's extremely highly valuable information. Out in the world, this information can be sold for a lot of money, but I'm giving it to you for free. So I just want you to know that it is valuable. It does work, and it is the solution to the problems of the physical body, how to eat, how to nourish, how to get into the place where you don't overeat, you don't have those cravings that you used to have before. And with this diet, your physical and your spiritual, it's like they're connected. Your soul and your physical body is connected, and what you eat really gets you in a certain place. It can either bring up your spirit high into heavenly places through the food you eat. You can bring up your spirit into heavenly places where it's very easy to have manifestations. It's very easy to see in the spirit, because those other foods that are not weighing you down anymore. Or the foods that you choose to eat, other foods can weigh you down. It can cause depressions, which is caused by the body, by the food you eat. Some people are very sensitive to the food they eat. Some people are not. Me, I am extremely sensitive. So if I eat something, it can automatically bring me down into a state of darkness, void, like what is the point of everything? Depressive states like that. So I want to tell you that food matters, and I'm going to tell you what kind of food to eat. So here we go. The number one thing, let's start, is you want to get rid of the cravings. Before you can start a diet, before you can start eating a specific kind of foods that are healthy for you and not crave other foods, you need to cleanse yourself from the cravings. I'm not talking about taking laxative pills and all of that. I'm talking about the best thing that works for me, causes the body to release the bacteria in your gut that are calling out for those junk foods, for those things that will give you cravings and will alternate into sugar cravings. It's all kind of a domino effect. And that is juicing. And not sweet juicing, but bitter juicing, sour juicing. My favorite kinds of juices, fresh juices, I'm talking about first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. You can drink 1 or 2 glasses, as much as you need, and you will actually feel yourself shifting out of that depressive, low state, low frequency, low energy state, and you will feel that elevation. And you do this every day. You can do this, it depends on what's going on in your body, how it's working for you. You can get yourself out of there. Usually it takes me maybe about a week of juicing, everyday juicing, and you will start to see every day that you are less hungry, because your body is processing all of that junk inside of you and getting rid of it. It is breaking down food that is just laying in you. It's breaking it down, it's using the energy, and it's eliminating it. It's clearing the system. It's clearing the fat around the organs, especially with juices like this. It's cleaning, all the kidneys, the liver, the gallbladder, the bladder, it's cleansing those intestines, those colon and all of that. So that's what it's doing. My favorite kind of juicing is the ones that I find really work, things like celery, grapefruit, orange, and onion. And don't underestimate onion. It is extremely detoxing. It is known to detox your brain. your actual brain. You can feel it. I can feel it when I drink it. I have started pressure in my brain because it's detoxing the brain. Yes, truly, truly. You can feel it at the back of your eyes. It's extremely good for your eyes. It sharpens your eyes. It's very good for your bones. Is it ever good for your bones? Onion juice. So at first, maybe take a quarter of an onion, work your way up to half an onion, and do that. Another thing good to incorporate, I often alternate. You always have to have something sweet to sweeten the juice a little bit. So in this case, I used oranges. And especially you will feel all of the phlegm. Let it out. You will feel so much clearer in your sinuses, in your lungs. It is extremely good for clearing out the lungs. This is very valuable information, I'm telling you. So I hope you're writing it down, because this is the initial step of what to do to get rid of the cravings. Those bacteria, get rid of them. They are calling out. They're saying, bring me this junk food, give me this food, give me these carbs, give me this processed food. It's calling it out. So the first time you drink the juice, you may think that your cravings have gone more, but it's because those bacteria are still calling out for those things, and it takes a few times for them to be completely gone. Then you've strengthened the bacteria that are calling for good things, for healthy alternatives that you will enjoy and that you will actually start to crave those and desire them. So another juice, you can substitute pineapple for the orange. That was a nice thing to put in juices. And also cabbage with apple. Don't go too far with the cabbage, because it's very good for the liver and for cleansing of harmful bacteria such as H. pylori. So if you have acid reflux, it's not because the cabbage is not causing it. It's there in the liver. It's clogged up places, and it's starting to irritate it to get it out. So start off with lots of apple, a little bit of cabbage, and then when you've gotten that point where you can assimilate and it doesn't bother you, work up the cabbage a little bit more. So that's a really good idea. Also, another juice is a citrus juice, a strong citrus juice. So you can have like lemon, a whole lemon with the skin. Make sure it's an organic if you can, or just wash it with water and vinegar. So you can use the skin when you juice, and the skin has a lot of good detox properties in it. Grapefruit, lemon, orange. The program you start on, your maintenance program. I've talked about this before. And your maintenance program includes things like, okay, the whole program is based on low carb and low cooked food, like how do I say this? Most of the foods you eat is cooked carbs. So because you're not eating a lot of carbs, you don't have to cook your food as much, because you're having a lot of fresh food, but with it you're having a lot of protein sources. Protein sources are your best friend. They are the things that keep you strong. They keep your hormone balance. And that is very important in this program. It's not just about losing weight, fast and feeling great. It's about getting your hormones, because in order to reach that youthfulness back, that strength back, that glow back, your hormones need to be supported. And he gets that from the meats. In order to get your digestion to be functioning properly again, and your gut to work again, if you've dealt with things like digestive disorders, and I had ulcerative colitis for like a decade, and I've learned what works for me, what triggers it, and what calms it down. So if you have things like that, meat is your best friend. Protein is your best friend, because it helps to calm all those things down and gets rid of all of that. Even when I would just eat a little bit of vegetables, I would feel the symptoms of the ulcerative colitis again. So know that it is the protein sources and the protein category that really heals the gut, depending on what level you are at with that. But me, I don't have that anymore, praise God. So I'm able to incorporate a lot of fresh foods, and that's what I suggest for the maintenance program. So you're not eating carbs, you're eating things like eggs. I cannot express the power and the significance how eggs are important to you. I can eat like 4 eggs a day right now is what I'm at, and I'm fine with that. But in the slimming program, so after the maintenance program, which can last about a week or 2 depending on you, I want you to feel comfortable. As soon as you feel very hungry or something like that, then we're going to go on to the next stage. But let's talk about the maintenance program. So what are the foods on the maintenance program? Like I said, any kind of meat, beef, chicken, turkey, you can have bacon, eggs. That is the 1-2 go-to thing that after it's been like 4 months now, maybe more than that, it's been more than that. My go-to is eggs. That is the thing that I rely on every day to keep my body strong, to keep my hormones super good and happy and vibrant and youthful and full of energy. And you don't have to be, your age doesn't have to match the way you look. Another thing, you incorporate a lot of greens because you want to have that continual movement going on. You're strengthened by the protein, but yet you're cleansed by the vegetables. The vegetables are very good for balancing as well, specifically salads, green leafy salads. Have extra virgin olive oil. If you can get raw cold pressed, that is the best. Himalayan sea salt. You can use a lot of salt because salt is also very important for your electrolytes and keeping you up and not so tired and all of that. I didn't really eat steamed vegetables and all of that. That was not necessary at all. I had my protein source and I had a big salad. I had my juice in the morning and then I supported it with protein. I can have scrambled eggs, fried eggs, in good olive oil, not all those other oils. So that's what comes to mind right now. I know if you want more information, I can go in detail because you see there's lots of information for each specific topic. So I can go in detail for each. Just let me know in the comments below and I will make a specific video for you because Christ loves you and wants you to be free from food controlling your life and having an effect on your emotional state. You cannot get to your destiny if your vehicle is faulty. It's gonna take a long time, might be slow to get there. It's not gonna be a good experience. You won't be able to get there very quickly. So your body has to do, when your body is right, then you can have that freedom to get to allow that your spirit to push you forward to where you need to be. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but for people who are affected by food and want to be free from control of food over their life, this is very important. When you go on the maintenance program, it can be a week or it can be 2 depending on your health state, depending on how you feel. Once you start feeling very lethargic and sleepy and so tired, I would get this at the very beginning, depending on your health levels, depending on how much weight you have to lose, because weight is it's a downer on the body. A person should not have so much weight on them because it's a burden. So as you're going through the steps and the layers of week by week by week, your body is constantly balancing itself. It's constantly trying to get to the right state. So you may be fluctuating in different areas. Once you get to about a week or 2 and you start feeling those symptoms, I want you to have a cheat meal and something that is whole, like real food that you cook on your stovetop, not from a package, not from a box, not from a restaurant. Just because you've done this for a while doesn't mean you can go sneak out or I deserve something that is, because I lost some weight on this 1 or 2 week thing. No, this is a lifetime thing. Do you want to be completely free for your lifetime? Then don't go out and don't think I did good for 1 week, I deserve it. No, because that's just a lie to get you to spiral back into what you were before and get you depressed. You don't want to be depressed all you want. You don't want that emotions to be driving you and riding your life on you all your life. You want to be in that high state where you're actually, like, I call this program in the clouds, because it really feels like you're in the clouds. It's a very high state of ketosis, and ketosis really brings you up. It brings your mind, it brings your body, and in this state you actually feel your spirit being elevated as well, and you come out of those dark, deep places of depression. So at the end of 1 or 2 weeks on the maintenance program, also on the maintenance program, you can have carbs, but the kind of carbs I'm talking about are a overnight oatmeal. Use 1 minute oatmeal, which is the best thing because it's like really ground up fine, and 1 minute oatmeal in a bowl, water, let it soak overnight, and in the morning you have oatmeal. You don't cook it or anything like that. You add cinnamon, bananas, plantain, raw plantain. Ripe one is extremely good for your gut and for your gut bacteria. It makes you actually happy, gives you a good mood. So try raw plantain in your oatmeal instead of banana, although you can eat as much bananas as you want, though they can kind of trigger your blood sugar levels because they are so sweet. So try not to overindulge on bananas, because that is probably the sweetest thing that you can have. And then also buckwheat. Buckwheat, like the Eastern European, Russian, Polish, Ukrainian buckwheat, you can soak them overnight, and they are not a grain, even though they're called wheat. They're actually not a wheat. They're gluten-free, so they're not a grain. They're actually the seed of a fruit-bearing plant. And they're so good for you. They have a lot of fiber. They make you feel very full. They make you feel very satisfied. So you can have that maybe with some crushed avocado. It is so satisfying with some salt. I tell you, it is so good, satisfying. It's going to cut those yearnings for having a full stomach, and feeling that full and comforting feeling. That's your two go-to things. Okay, so you're done your week. Now you feel strong enough, you've cleansed enough, you feel well, your hormones feel high, but maybe you start feeling a little bit tired, and that is not doing it for you, and you think you're gonna break, you think you're gonna start eating other foods. That is when you incorporate your cheat meal. Your cheat meal, depending on how much weight you have to lose. If you have a lot, one cheat meal is enough. If you have less weight to lose, then you might have to make it into 2 cheat meals, one in the morning, one in the evening, or one whole cheat day, depending on how much weight you have to lose. And on your cheat meal, do whole. You can have cooked things like cooked rice, potatoes, real food, whole food, with maybe cooked chicken or beef, and then, some other salad on the side or something like that. And you can be full and fill yourself up on that. And that will help you to gain that strength and the motivation to keep going into your maintenance round again. But if you don't want to go into maintenance rounds, if you want to go hardcore, if you want to reach the top of those clouds and know what this amazing feeling feels like, then you go on the slimming program. And this is a big secret right here. The slimming program is basically eating eggs and oranges. That's the first kind of slimming program. There's a second kind of slimming program that you do towards the end, and that is much more intense, and I find that I only get into the second part of it when I've established the first part. So the first part of it, you eat 3 eggs, 1 orange per meal. So you can have 3 meals a day. You have to make sure that your meals are 3 hours apart. 3 hours apart. You don't drink anything with your meal. No fluids with your meal. 2.5 hours after your meal, drink a lot of water, because you might have heartburn because it's churning a lot of things in there. But from the maintenance program, if you've done the maintenance program, you probably will not have heartburn. But if you do, it's because a lot of those foods are churning up in there. So just drink a lot of water and it's going to get rid of that, okay? Your body is entering into a ketosis state, in a very high form of ketosis state, when you're on the slimming program, when you're just eating the 3 eggs and 1 orange per meal. Those 3 eggs, I suggest you boil them in the beginning of the day. Boil about 9 eggs for your day. That will make up 3 for each meal. Boil them. When you boil them, let them boil for 15 minutes. They have to be super hard boiled, because then they like sustain you more and give you that strength. They hold you more. They give you that energy, and they get you more into that ketosis level when they are very hard boiled. 15 minutes boiling, not on the stove for 15 minutes. Boil 15 minutes. That's how long they have to be. So when you're eating, how is it that you're able to eat 3 eggs and 1 orange and be satisfied with that? The key is chewing. You have to learn how to start chewing. 101 basics that no one taught us. You have to chew your food at least 50 times. Regular small bites 50 times. When you do that, 1 bite of egg, chew it 50 times. Take a bite of orange and make sure that it's kind of equal. You know, just see with your eyes, like, okay, it'll take me this many oranges, divide them out, so that you can not have like at the end, like, I just have so much egg in me and I ate all my orange before. If you eat orange and egg like this, one and the other, then you won't feel like the need for thirst after. And orange is a good, great potassium source, and it really does lift up your energy and your mental, your electrolytes, because it's potassium. It brings up those. Egg is extremely important because it has cholesterol, which is good for you, because this cholesterol is converted by the liver into hormones. Your own natural biological hormones that your body uses, that your body needs to balance out the deficiencies of the hormone levels that you have. Eggs are extremely important. You will notice throughout, because you do this every day. You do this for about, you can do it from 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. The more weight you have to lose, the more you will be very happy to stay on it, and you'll want to go up to 7 days. I do not recommend going above 7 days. Once you go past 7 days, then your metabolism starts to drop. And that's the thing. You want to keep your metabolism, like I said in the other video, on a wave. So the metabolism goes out, you ride the wave, and then when the metabolism goes back down, you go back up with it. You know, it's a cycle. It's like the cycle of high carb, low carb, except your low carb is a little bit different and your high carb is a little bit different. You know, you'll see it works a little differently. So once you go do this egg orange program, you can, for 3 days minimum, 3 days, but it takes about 5 days to really start feeling good. It peaks at 5 days, at 6 days it peaks, and then you'll start to go back down again. Your metabolism is going back down, and it's done the work it's supposed to do for this session, for this trial. It's done. So now what you do when you get off of it, you can start going back onto the maintenance program. This way, it's not like you're going on a fast and you do really great, you don't need anything for 1 week or how many days, and then you just go back to binging on all the food that you shouldn't eat and you just feel like a failure. No, after you finish this fasting, which is a high metabolic ketosis state, spiritual kind of state you're putting your body into, where you leave all that lowness in your body, you leave the low energies, the low frequencies, and you rise up into this state of high energy, high ketosis, feeling absolutely on top of the world. You feel on top of the mountain. That's how wonderful it feels. But you have to get yourself there. I can give you the information. I can tell you how fantastic and how this really, really does work, and it's worked for many people, I can tell you. But you have to believe in it enough to make it work. If something doesn't work for you, don't say, oh, well, I guess it doesn't work. I don't have anything. I'll never get there. It does work, and you have to find a way around it to make it work specifically just for you. Don't stop. Just find a way around. Maneuver your way around it. Don't quit. Don't just go to something else. Don't just fall back into, craving or eating other things and then feel like a total failure, which is how I felt. And God has shown me this, how to get myself finally off of all this food-related issues and be free from them. And now I feel completely free. Now I feel like I don't really eat anymore. Like I feel continually sustained and happy, and I don't crave food at all. I'm telling you, it's been like, I don't even know, 3-4 months, something like that, and I totally feel free from food. I don't even need to go on cheat meals very often anymore like I did at the beginning, because my body's gotten so used to having those low carb state where now it's very efficient in using protein sources and being in that state. Slimming, you lost a lot of weight, you feel young, you're glowing, you feel radiant, your hormones are high, your libido has raised, you feel on top of the world, people are noticing you, they're looking at you like, what's up with this person? Stuff is happening for you. Your body is feeling wonderful, it's running efficiently, your vehicle is running efficiently. So what do you do after, so you don't fall back in your own ways? After the slimming egg orange program, you go on to another thing I want to say on the egg orange program. One thing that I utilized a tool was Pinot Noir wine, not any other kind, but the Pinot Noir has some kind of properties in it that really help with digestive gut health, and they actually get rid of a lot of harmful bacteria in the gut. This is scientifically based. I'm not a normally wine drinker, and I'm just saying this because, it's my preference. I drank on the egg orange program, on that slimming program, in the evening after my third meal, 2.5 hours later, that's when I can have my fluids. I would have about 5 ounces, 4 ounces of wine, of that Pinot Noir, and that is the best one I recommend, and it really helps. It just helps you overall, not just with your gut, it helps you with your digestion, and it helps you kind of, have something, not feel like you're totally deprived of everything, and it's actually good for you. So I do recommend that you don't go overboard or anything like that. Like I said, 4 ounces is enough. If you're not a drinker, if you want a little bit more, 5 to 6 ounces. 6 ounces is enough for sure. And then you start the maintenance program. And when you start the maintenance program, you're going to feel a little bit edgy depending on your weight, depending on where you were before. So I suggest making your your buckwheat, overnight buckwheat. Sometimes you can do it in the morning, and then by the afternoon it will be ready, so it doesn't have to necessarily be overnight. But yeah, I suggest have that buckwheat. It's, like I said, very satisfying with avocado and salt. It's very satisfying, and it will fill you up. The way I make the buckwheat is I have 1 cup of the buckwheat. Get it from like a Russian, Polish, Ukrainian source. They have the right kind of buckwheat that actually has the husk. It's the fiber. They have that. The ones at the other stores I couldn't find with the husk, but check yourself. And do that overnight. So 1 cup to 2 cups of water, and let it soak. Rinse it out because there's like dust and kind of dirt in there. Rinse it out, and then you'll find that it's very satisfying, and it gets rid of those cravings. So the first few days you might have to be eating every day those buckwheat like I was. Also, you have your overnight oats, you have lots of, I just love that cinnamon. It's so good. It kind of balances the blood sugar levels as well. And your plantains, and you have your bananas, and then you have any kind of fruit. Apples are very good for your gut as well, and they're sweet, so that's nice. So you have your fruits, you have your vegetables, you have your salads that are full of good fats like cold pressed, olive oil, and then you have your meats. You can even fry your meat. You want fried chicken, you can fry your meat. Just don't add all those like floury things. You can do your own hamburgers, make your own stuff, not those stuff from the Florida store that you don't know really what's inside of there. And those things can just like bring up get you out of that state and have you craving other stuff, and just avoid it altogether. Yeah, so you can also have things like cheese, milk. If you can get raw milk, that is amazing. I've done a whole video on raw milk. It's absolutely amazing. It's so good for your gut and your body. And eggs. Yeah, just be creative, do your own thing. You can make your own sushi with buckwheat. You can do a lot of things. You have your raw foods that are very good for you, but you have also your meats and your proteins that are extremely good for your gut as well, and that gives you that strength, that hormone balance. So go again 1 more week on the maintenance program. You will start to feel a little bit down. That's your metabolism coming back down again. Then what do? You go on a cheat meal, or if you have a little less weight, you don't have so much weight on you, then you can go on a cheat day. On your cheat days, you can make waffles, you can make pancakes, you can make crepes, you can I don't recommend bread. I did have it at the beginning, but I found out that it didn't sit with me well at all. So I just recommend don't eat the bread. Just make your own, flour sources if you want. And you can have syrup and butter. You're building yourself at this point. You're not depriving yourself. You're building yourself up. And because you're going to be going the next day, you're automatically going to have the energy, the strength, the joy, and you're going to go ride that wave of your slimming program. And on that slimming program, you're going to lose a lot of weight. You're going to lose a lot of those unbalances. Your gut is going to feel better. You are going to feel on top of the world, on top of the mountain again. Total revolutionary, life-changing diet to get you out of that cycle of binging, of falling, of being depressed, of having food control you, for you to start controlling your life and getting the best out of your life and doing the things that you've always wanted to do, be inspired and be energized, be able to love flow from you more easily because you feel great in yourself. You've put this love into yourself. Love yourself first so that you can love others. When you start loving yourself, taking care of yourself, Jesus is giving you this information, so you will start doing this for yourself so that your goodness, His goodness in you can start unfolding. He can start showing you your destiny. He can start showing you where you should be going in your life, what you should be doing in your life. You will be inspired and things, opportunities, doors will open to you. This all happened to me because of this that He has given me, and I'm giving it to you for free. Very valuable information. So I just hope you take advantage of it. Take advantage of it and do it. You have any questions, leave them. You want more information, I will do it further. Okay, so after you were just on the maintenance for 7 days, the next day you went on your cheat meal. If you feel fine, just go on a cheat meal. The more weight you have to lose, the body is pretty adept and it uses that fat for energy. But when you don't have so much, you might feel like one meal is not enough. So just have another meal, and it quite often is enough. And the next day, go on another wave of the ride of the egg orange. the egg orange. After your cheat meal, if you've cheated a little bit too much, if you know what I mean, and you eat what you shouldn't have eaten, which has happened to me at the very beginning when I was on this journey, I suggest after that cheat meal, make that juice in the morning, and that will get those cravings out of you, get that low lethargic state out of you, and get you pumped back into what? Doing that egg orange program. I feel like I'm missing something about the egg orange program, but I don't think so. 3 eggs, 1 orange. Every 3 hours, 2.5 hours after your meal, you have your drinks. 3 hours, then you can start eating again. Boil them for 15 minutes and chew them. Make sure you're chewing. The more hungry you are, the more you have to chew. That's right. That's the key. It's really that simple. It really is. And then so what happens after 3 months? You've lost weight, you look great, things are going good. I've noticed, I've done the 3 months, and now I'm not really doing any of the slimming. Like, I don't feel the need, I don't really feel the desire to do that slimming. I feel okay now. But right now what I'm doing, as I'll tell you how it goes in the future, you get down to the weight you want to be, you're comfortable, you feel good, you feel young and energetic. I don't really crave having those cheat meals. It's like I don't need them. My body doesn't really need them because it's able to use the protein. These days, I am just eating about 3 eggs, 4 eggs if I'm very hungry. I'll eat them in the morning, and then if I'm starting to feel cravings, I go into my juicing again, which I've had recently been doing for the past 2 days. And it's amazing how less cravings you feel. And when I feel down and I feel like, I can feel like my metabolism is down and I'm feeling lethargic, I'm feeling extra tired and all of that, I will have a cheat meal, and that might just be, some waffles with a lot of syrup and butter. And I don't necessarily have to go on the next day where I have the egg orange. I don't have to do that. I can just skip that and automatically go into the maintenance. And I can just ride the maintenance wave, and I can feel really good on the maintenance, and I can let that energy that I've eaten from that waffle and syrup and all of that, I can let that energy dween out throughout the week, or just keep going with that maintenance program. And that's where I'm at. I'm just on that maintenance. Once in a while, I will have a cheat meal if I desire it. I also want to mention okra. Oh, Lord help me. For your gut, sleeping, and iodoral. Okay, if you have problems with your iodine, first of all, this is a very good diet. I am very confident in it to help you to get pregnant. A long time ago, I got pregnant because I was on this diet. Okay, so it's a very, very good diet to help you get pregnant. I'm telling you, if you have low libido, this is the diet to help you a lot. But if you want to be taking a supplement, if you are the kind of person, I'm speaking to you, if you are the kind of person that cannot get pregnant, not that you get pregnant and you can't sustain the pregnancy, if you just utterly just don't get pregnant at all, not conception at all, I highly suggest Iodoral. You can get it on Amazon, Iodoral. And there's different levels, so there's like 10 milligrams, 15, 25, and there's a 50. I get the 51. It's $100, but the 51 is much more expensive. It's like $100 for a bottle. But you can cut it up into 4 pieces. It's a big tablet, and Iodoral is specifically for your thyroid. It has iodine plus, I think, potassium source, which is extremely good for your iodine. If you are the kind of person that's a vegan or raw food or doesn't eat meat or vegetarian, you need Iodoral to help you get pregnant, because your thyroid is the thing that helps you get conception. and iodoral is so important. There are reports on it. Go online if you want, read them, how amazing this iodoral is and how deficient people are these days with iodine, and how important it is for your thyroid. A lot of people don't know about this. A lot of women do not know about this. So that's just a huge tip. The Lord reminded me to tell you if you are that person. Another thing, if you have very bad gut-related issues, don't know how to heal the gut, these are the two things that worked for me. Okra. Okra is your amazing friend the Lord has put on this earth. Make okra thick stew. You can grate it, cook it, add some salt, add some, spice or something to it, and make okra stew for yourself. It is so good for the gut and for the stomach. If you have bleeding, if you have hemorrhoids, if you have like some kind of ulcers within the gut, it is so good on the stomach. It is like calming and soothing, and it feels amazing. It feels like the best thing for your gut. Your gut loves this. Okra, eat it. Okra. Cook it and eat it that way. It is very, very healthy. Another thing that is very healthy for the gut. Oh, I can't remember it now. Those two things. Lord, help me remember. Next topic, sleeping. You will see that you require a lot of sleep when you're on this program, because your body needs that sleep to balance itself, needs time to get into the right state, into the next level of functioning. So you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sometimes I would just sleep. I would just have a nap in the middle of the day. If that's possible for you, get enough sleep, because it's very, very efficient and effective for you to get enough sleep on this program that you will be doing. Okay, so I can't remember the other thing about the gut. Lord, what was it? So the second thing, if you have problems with your gut, if you're a kind of person that is constipated, if you have like hemorrhoids, blockages, ulcers, that kind of thing, it took me a while to realize this. And it's olive oil and salt. I knew this before too, but not the kind that you think. Before, when I heard about this, I actually took like half a glass of olive oil and chugged it. It was a lot. It was like, like 200 milliliters or something. And I chugged it and I felt absolutely awful. I did what they said I should do. It didn't help at all. I had my grapefruit juice with that, and I laid on my side and all of that. It didn't help at all. But until I did this thing, this one really helps. What you do, this will clear everything. It will make everything so much easier in your gut and your digestion. Anytime I have bleeding or anything, I start like that. This is my go-to with the okra. In the morning, after you've had your morning drink, like whatever it is, mine is like tea, but after you have it and you feel like you've woken up your digestion a little bit, on a tablespoon, put some pink Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt, just pinch it on there, and then with some cold pressed, like good quality, get like the best quality bottle of the cold pressed olive oil, because you're just going to be using this for this purpose, and put some of that olive oil, enough for that spoon, put it in your mouth, swallow it. The salt helps with that as well, and then just drink something after that. And you will notice, first day you may not notice, second day you may not notice, third or fourth day, it is until I notice my digestion start to work, and those things inside, it start to heal them, make everything smooth, make everything easy. And it even goes so far as the reproductive organs. I'm not going to go into that, but it helps with those organs as well. You just have to discover that one for yourself. But yes, this is what I recommend. So do this every morning. It's not just great for your heart, and it's very good. Okay, if you have gallstones, and you don't have to take a whole week of doing this cleanse, liver gallstone cleanse. You can just do this thing every day and you will see. I read somewhere that if you have tiny little black spots here, like even when I'd exfoliate, I'd have these tiny little black spots here and I wouldn't know how to get rid of them. But until I started this cleanse and I learned and I read that that's because there's gallstones or liver stones, right? And even after I took the 200 milliliters of olive oil with the grapefruit, it didn't do anything. It didn't go away. Nothing happened. And I felt horrible and I felt bad, icky and all of that. But if I did this every day, and after that first week of doing it, all of the little black spots were gone. It is enough for you to take that salt, that large, tablespoon with the salt and with that cold pressed good quality olive oil every day in the morning on an empty stomach. After your tea, you want to wake it up, because if I did it before, I actually vomited a few times because my digestion was not woken up yet and I took it too soon. So just make sure that your digestion is a little bit awake. Drink some water, let it start working in there, and then you can take it and then it'll flow through easily. But that's the other thing that really helps you with your digestion so much. Another thing that really can be good for getting rid of bacteria is the charcoal, the powdered charcoal, the one that you can eat. You can take like a tiny tip of the teaspoon with that one, and it actually gets rid of bacteria, but it also gets rid of the good bacteria with the bad bacteria. But you can always replenish your good bacteria by the foods that you eat. But that's one way you can get rid of it without taking antibiotics. Another one is the diatomaceous earth. It binds, it's like a magnet that binds those bad bacteria to itself to get rid of it. Yeah, that is everything. If you have any more questions, leave a comment down below. I will answer them. And if you want elaboration on anything, go more into it. I will do that as well. So I hope this was very informative for you, and I really encourage you to do this, because the way that your life will change and your body will change, and you will look younger, your hair will be better and grow better, and you don't need all those carb things. They are unnecessary to your life. You don't need them. Even though I love cheesecake, on some of my days I have cheesecake, I do love that, but that's the whole point of it. You're not just stuck to a certain kind of food that you cannot eat other foods. Here you can enjoy everything. You have your cheat days, you have your cheat meals, but that doesn't say that I don't eat pizza on my cheat meals, because I don't want it. I don't eat really spaghetti because it doesn't make me feel good either. But everybody's different. Do what works for you, and you will find out the day after if that was a good idea or not. So God bless you guys, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Remember, God loves you and He wants the best for you. And the fact that I am here telling you all of this for free means that He does. And He has put it in my heart to desire to give this information and to see people set free from this, because it is a burden and it is a kind of bondage to your life, because you are meant to do much more in life. You are meant to do wonderful and beautiful things, and God wants to take you on that journey, and you need a vehicle that is equipped to take you there and to feel absolutely fabulous and not feel worn out or old or tired or just anything chronically bad. So I bless you in Jesus' name. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys. Bye.